Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the veil of death? Or if it's possible to come back? Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing stories ever told. A tale that blurs the line between life and death and reveals a profound truth about hope and power. This is the incredible story of Lazarus. Imagine a small village, Bethany, just a couple of miles from Jerusalem. Here lived two sisters, Martha and Mary, and their brother, Lazarus. They weren't just any family, they were close friends of Jesus. One day, a devastating message reaches Jesus. Lord, the one you love is sick, but instead of rushing back, Jesus waits for 2 whole days. He tells his disciples something cryptic. This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it. By the time Jesus finally arrived in Bethany, the unthinkable had happened. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. The air was thick with grief. Martha, ever the practical one, runs to meet Jesus, her heart a mix of faith and despair. Lord, she says, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask. Jesus offered her a promise that seemed impossible. Your brother will rise again. Jesus then met Mary, who was weeping uncontrollably, surrounded by mourning friends. Seeing their sorrow, something remarkable happened. Jesus was deeply moved, and he wept. The creator of the universe shared in the pain of his friends, showing a depth of empathy that is both human and divine. This wasn't a distant, unfeeling God. This was a God who cries with us. He asked, "Where have you laid him?" They led him to the tomb, a cave with a large stone rolled across the entrance. Jesus gave a command that shocked everyone. Take away the stone. Martha protested, but, Lord, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there for days. Her realism clashed with his divine authority. Jesus gently reminded her, did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? The stone was rolled away. The crowd held its breath. Jesus looked up to heaven and prayed, not for power, but in thanks, so that everyone watching would believe. Then, he did the impossible. He called out in a loud voice, a voice that commands creation itself, Lazarus, come out. And from the darkness of the tomb, a figure emerged, Lazarus, still wrapped in his burial cloths, but alive, walking, breathing. The silence of the crowd erupted into gasps of shock, disbelief, and then overwhelming joy. Jesus simply said, take off the grave clothes and let him go. He didn't just resuscitate Lazarus. He fully restored him. So, what can we learn from this incredible event? First, God's timing is not our timing. Jesus' delay wasn't a sign of indifference. It was to set the stage for a greater miracle that would display God's glory in a way no one could deny. When you feel like your prayers are unanswered, remember that a delay is not a denial. A bigger plan might be unfolding. Second, it's okay to have questions and doubts, even in faith. Martha expressed her frustration and her what-ifs, yet Jesus met her right where she was, strengthening her belief through conversation. Your faith doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. Third, Jesus cares deeply about our pain. He wept. He felt the sorrow of his friends. This reminds us that we have a compassionate God who understands our suffering and is with us in our darkest moments. You are never alone in your grief. And finally, the story of Lazarus is a powerful preview of an even greater victory. Jesus declares, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. This story isn't just about bringing one man back to life. It's a promise to all of us. A promise that through faith, even death itself does not have the final say. The story of Lazarus shows us that no situation is too far gone, no darkness is too deep, and no ending is final when God is involved. He can turn our deepest sorrows into our greatest testimonies. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched you, please give this video a like and share it with someone who might need a message of hope today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you in the next one.